Okay, so again, this is Mark Burnett, our last speaker for today. He is the author of the very acclaimed book, Perfect Passwords. I was actually considering to bring it here to Las Vegas to have it personally signed. I still have it at home, Mark. Again, Mark came with this talk. Have you actually been tormenting your family over this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
big time.
So I think this is going to be very interesting to listen what he have actually been doing. So, Mark, feel free to get started.
All right. Okay. I'm Mark Burnett. I guess
Hi, Mark.
I do stuff and I talk about stuff. But on my first slide here, I'm going to read my intro. Okay, so this talk is about passwords and killing passwords and really the mess we've made with the whole passwords thing. Because although we like to think that we have played a part in making the world more secure, mostly what we've done is alienate users. We've made them log into everything over and over and over and over and over. We tell them to make sure the password is really strong, but don't write it down. And of course, don't forget it. Be sure to add some special characters, or sometimes, when it's a bank, don't include special characters. Banks. We've bombarded users with, I gotta change my screen here.
You don't have my there's all capital letters though, Mark.
We've bombarded users with a never-ending supply of policies, CAPTCHAs, remember me boxes. I'm behind now. And of course, you don't check the remember me box, even though it is everywhere. And of course, users retaliated how they know best with memes. And we can't blame them because we created them. We created those monsters, and they are monsters. But I have got this little analogy here. Actually, I just saw this video and I thought I've got to find a way to work it in. We are all losing. Okay, now I don't know if you notice it's kind of quick, but I watch around this area. I'm going to zoom in and slow it down, but watch around this area because there was something that just kind of went viral quick there. Yeah, you probably missed it on the first time. So, all right. So we've been doing passwords for several decades now, and you think we've pretty much got it figured out, right? But let's look at what we've accomplished, and let's kind of do a report card here. Password policies. It seemed like a good idea, but it turns out we really don't know what works. I mean, users have bad passwords, so hey, let's force them to have good passwords, but that kind of end up with not enough requirements, too many requirements, strange requirements, no two identical consecutive characters, and I don't know if you know me on Twitter, I complain about a lot of stuff. Short password explanation, policies for policies. I mean, come on. Failed. User education, they're still confused. As much as we've tried, they still suck at passwords. They still hate passwords. They still want to kill passwords. They're always trying to find some way to work around their passwords. So we're going to fail on that too. Password managers, hey. Now, I know we've talked a lot about password managers, and it's kind of an important thing to a lot of people here, a lot of person here. But we got to face it. They're just a temporary fix. They're really not a long-term solution. They kind of tacking on to this problem we have of passwords, and we're trying to fix passwords by having password manager. But yeah. Hardware tokens. Hey, now, hardware tokens we've been doing for decades now. I mean, we've been trying to get it right, and we've tried a lot of different things, but the thing is, have you ever tried to get someone to use a hardware token who isn't in the security business? Or unless the company forces them to, it just doesn't happen. And then there's that. Now, biometrics, hey, users like those. Fingerprints, eye scanners, voice matching. Movies have been doing it for years. It looks cool. It seems really secure. If it's something really secure, they're going to voice match, right? But we still haven't figured out how to make it. We really haven't figured out how to make it secure, and we haven't figured out how to make it anonymous, and we haven't figured out how to make it work everywhere. Yeah. Oh, I don't have sound. I just realized. That's cool. Okay. It sounded like that, kind of. Jeez. All right. So the way this started is Intel, this particular topic started, Intel had me write an article a few months ago, and they've seen a lot of my tweets and stuff, and they thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we wrote an article about killing passwords, and they thought, let's get a bunch of equipment, let's try it out on my family, and kill passwords, see what really works, and yeah, that didn't go so well, but I got some wearables stuff, some YubiKeys. I had a bunch of those laying around. Eye scanner, fingerprint scanner, and a password manager. I used Intel's TrueKey in this one. The experiment was really fun for me, but I did it for a few weeks. I got all these things hooked up. I got everyone in my family hooked up. I had this interesting. We have this pretty diverse thing in my family. I got my wife. That's another story. Three of my boys, I got four, and my father-in-law. Oh, especially my father-in-law. I'll just let you guys I don't know if you can see those, but.
You got to read some of them.
My father-in-law put tape over his webcam, transparent Scotch tape. I'm amazed at, despite my best efforts, my father-in-law's ability to fill his computer with every spyware known to man. My father-in-law today told me he needs to get a copy of Harvard Graphics. Then I realized he was serious. I'm just going to say the world is not secure until my father-in-law can go 90 days without getting some kind of infection on his laptop. No, every hack today wasn't because of the passwords I released. Seriously, people are like my father-in-law. Okay, my SSID used to be not found, my home group blocked, and my Plex server broken. My father complains that nothing works at my house. I have so many stories. What's that? So anyway, I've got a pretty diverse group to pull from. Needless to say, my father-in-law got the cat book, which is, password manager, cats, hey. Password manager disguised as a book about cats. No, anyway, it's really interesting though, because I got this stuff. I got this, I got one of my sons to use YubiKeys. It's kind of a hack, but I got him to, use them for all the different passwords. Some of them were statically hard-coded passwords, but the whole thing was to kill passwords at that point. My wife, I got her this, this fitness tracker, and the thing is, though, once she found out that it was worth how much it was worth, she wanted to sell on eBay, so that didn't last. It was just like it lasted about 3 weeks, and then you can see it all ended up back on my keychain again. They just kind of gave up on it. But why can't we get people to use this stuff? Why is it so hard? I couldn't even get my own family to do it, and I would think I'd like to have some kind of influence over them. What do we need to do to get user participation here? Wait. Oh, hey, let's just do them all. Okay, so it's got to be usable. If it's not usable, obviously it's got to be usable, but it's got to have, it's got to be easy to install. It can't have a lot of terminology, crypto terminology. It can't be frustrating to that's the thing with my wife. She gets really frustrated with stuff. So if it doesn't work, like the first 2 times, she's ready to give up on it. So it can't be frustrating. Needs to be flexible. Needs to work across a lot of different platforms. Now there's a lot of cool authentication stuff, but it only works on Windows or it only works on your mobile. So it's got to work on different platforms. It's got to be compatible with a lot of different authentication technologies. I mean, Windows Hello is nice, but there's a lot of stuff you can't use. You can't use a YubiKey to log into Windows Hello. It's got to be invisible to the user, and they just really got to feel like they're not even using it. I mean, that's the biggest problem with passwords. They're far from invisible. They're struggling with them all the time. I mean, just monitor the keyword password on Twitter, and you see all this. It's kind of funny, but you see all kinds of complaints about passwords. And it's got to be ubiquitous. I mean, if your bank sends you one token that only works with their website, I mean, what's the point of that? It's got to be something that you can use on all the different websites or all the different systems, or if it only works on websites but not the OS, or vice versa. I mean, it's got to be something that works across different systems. So with this in mind, I decided to take it to the extreme. Okay, it didn't work with my family, but I thought I'd try it myself. I mean, I'm pretty brave. So I got all this stuff together. I added a few more things to my keychain. I got this, there's the eye tracker, and I installed it all in my system. My system really doesn't boot very well anymore, but I installed it all, and I tried it out. It's like, what are we doing wrong here? I mean, why isn't this so hard to figure out? And just to be clear, we aren't going to be killing passwords anytime soon. You guys know that. I'm just going to skip that one. So let's talk about password managers. I said they're a temporary fix. They're just kind of a crutch to get us through to make passwords usable for now. I mean, it may be 10 years, maybe 20 years, but they're really not going to last. It's not a long-term solution here. I mean, we don't know our own secrets. I mean, we create these we don't even create the secrets. It generates the passwords for us. It manages the secrets for us. It enters them in for us. But it's not. It just kind of breaks the whole security model. It breaks the whole concept of having a secret, because we have this master password, but that's not really the way this is going to work. And we just got to look at that. Look at passwords. They're a transition. They're to get us to this place where we can, we truly have a seamless system where we're doing more than just typing in static passwords. A tool is typing static passwords for us. Sorry. But to get to that place, we're going to have to get operating system support. We're going to have to get browser support. And I know that, where's my question? Yeah. He thinks that browser shouldn't be involved, but you got to have the operating system. You got to have the OS. It's got to have a trusted platform to run the browser, and the browser's got to have that trust authentication platform to log into your websites. And if we don't have the browser involved, if we don't have the operating system involved, we're just not going to get to that. I mean, it's just, we have to, the only way we're going to do that is to get every component integrated. And so who's going to do that? No, I'm serious. Who's going to do that? I'm asking for volunteers. No? Okay. So what you have, we've been doing this for a long time. We've tried magnetic stripe cards. We've tried smart cards, token generators, all kinds of technologies. And that's what users want. They want something that's easy, something you just plug in, or you just be near your computer, unlocks it. If you lose it, you've got this thing to log in. If you lose it, you grab another thing, and that's your thing. And you use it to log in, and you lose that thing, and you get another thing. So, that seems like a great solution, but hardware is the classic trade-off between security and convenience. And what seems great for users really doesn't work well for security. So, and vice versa. But you missed that. Let me do it again for you. So around 2005, a lot of websites realized they needed to do, they needed to make things more secure. So we started like PayPal and eBay and some banks. They started distributing these Vasco Go tokens. You push a button, it gives you a 6-digit code. And actually, I really like these. I mean, I've had these for 10 years, and the battery still works. I still use them on my PayPal account, but I guess they really kind of sucked for the companies because they just, they kind of, it got to where PayPal just kind of hid that feature for a while. It must have been a major support headache. So we kind of, what's that?
Nobody used it besides you and a couple of us security people.
Exactly. Nobody used them but me and like you probably, and like some other guy. So Bluetooth. Now, Bluetooth's interesting because people are always trying to. I mean, Bluetooth seems like the perfect way to do this. You don't even have to touch it. Just go near your computer, it unlocks it, but it's not exactly secure. I mean, it's always on. It's easily spoofable. It's visible. I mean, within 30 feet or more. If you have a. I mean, sometimes I've seen people do up to 100 feet with the right antenna. Vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attacks. I think there's going to be a talk at DEF CON about that. But everyone keeps going back to these Bluetooth stuff, and the protocol is insecure. There's just really no fixing that unless we fix the protocol. But one thing you do is you treat it like it's an insecure network, and we know how to deal with insecure networks. I mean, you have proper key exchange, you have certificates, you can have PIN certificates. You don't just detect the presence of the Bluetooth MAC address. You exchange. You do a proper challenge response. You exchange a time-based or digitally signed time-based token, but no one does that. That's a problem. This tracker I used for my wife. I just end up using some software. In fact, there we go. I'm using some software. This Rojos. And it's kind of cool. You have all these different things. You've got USB flash drive, Bluetooth key, PKCS number 11 security module, YubiKeys. You can plug in all these things, and you can log in with Windows. Really nice. I did that with my wife. Integrated with a couple other things, Tasker and some stuff on her phone, and it worked good until, like I said, eBay. My wife. Okay, I'm not going to go on that. You know all the stories about my wife and eBay, yeah.
It's not nailed down. It's going on eBay.
Yeah, that's right. I used to have these DEF CON badges, like from 5 and 6, but those go for a lot of money on eBay, it turns out. These fitness trackers are actually kind of cool because you think about it, they've got, first of all, it's something you have, you got possession there, but you also got GPS on some of them. You've got biometric markers. I mean, this one's got a heart rate sensor. If there's done authentication through heart rate. It's got microphones on it. You could do voice authentication. It's got galvanic sensors. Basically you got a lie detector test on here on a watch. But I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities. I mean, you could if you really wanted to make that work. I mean, wearables are a really interesting thing, and it was it's pretty transparent. Microsoft tried to do it with their thing. What's it called? What's their wearable called? Band. Yeah, there we go. Band. And but just basically you push a button. Gatekeeper. Now this one's kind of interesting. I actually kind of like this one. It's this little thing right here. You got a USB dongle, and then you just put it on your keychain. You walk up your computer, and it's really accurate. Like you can say how far you want it to be from your computer. You can say like 3 feet or 5 feet or 15 feet. And it's really you get within 3 feet, and it locks, and when you walk away, it unlocks, or other way around. You can choose how you want to log in. If you want to log in with just the gatekeeper or with a PIN or whatever. And it's just really cool. I actually kind of had fun with that one. But then I saw this thing. It says, enter your Windows password. Enter your Windows password below. This enables you to log in to your PC. Whenever someone asks for your Windows password, that's a bad sign when authentication. So I saw this, and I saw this, and it was just bad. I mean, I don't know if you can see here. There's my PIN. and the encrypted, and there's all the code for encrypting it, and yeah, it was just bad. I mean, it was kind of sad because that was kind of cool. Anyway, we've been working with them, and they're improving that, but it's there's a lot of potential there. There's some way we can go with that. Some Bluetooth device that's pretty seamless for the user. YubiKeys, right? I mean, we all like YubiKeys. How many people here have a YubiKey? All right. How many people have 4 YubiKeys? 1, 2, 3. What's that? On which one?
Don't know. They released a blog post about it back in May.
What's the news about UBC 4?
The 4, oh. Well, it depends on what kind of crypto you're talking about, because the YubiKey is writable, and you can write your own Java modules in there. So I guess it depends on what you're using it for, but it depends on how you're using it. And I think the YubiKey is probably the closest to getting a real hardware token that's usable. It's cheap. U2F standard. I got a few of those U2F tokens. This one here, it just kind of folds out and tapes over, and I got it for $5 on Amazon. Widespread adoption. A lot of people, well, I should say widespread adoption among us. Really easy to use. Put it in, push a button. It's got the YubiKey itself. It's got the OTP, smart card, channel response, other stuff. But we still can't get people to use them. I mean, I gave my son 3 YubiKeys for all those different, 6 different passwords because it's about all he had. I still couldn't even give him use them for that. I have one of my sons, my 10-year-old. He actually still uses his YubiKey. Yeah, to log into. He's the only one of all my family who actually survived the whole thing. He uses his YubiKey to log into Gmail, but we can't get people to use them. I mean, that's about as easy as you can get, right? NFC RFID. Got a ring here. It's got 2 little NFC tags on it, and hey, I got on the back of my I got another NFC tag. Back of my wallet, I got NFC tag, so I can swipe my wallet, and in the bathroom I can swipe and launch my apps I need on my phone. Yeah, some do. Yeah, the Nano, I believe, or yeah, I think, I don't know, one of those. RFID is cool. The RFID thing, I got these little scanners I put on my computer. Oh, you should have seen my computer. It was such a mess. All the stuff. I had stuff taped on there because I had so I got NFC and RFID. So it's kind of cool. I actually got another one for my garage, so I can open my garage door with that, and it worked great for that. But I don't. The thing is, you can't change it. It's just a code. I mean, it's spoofable. It's easily copied. You can't turn it off, so it's not like Bluetooth. I mean, at least Bluetooth, you can kind of secure it by only turn it on when you need it. You need a reader. I've got those readers, but I don't even know what that is. Oh, so I used Event Ghost in Windows. I used that Rojos thing. I used Tasker, and kind of got all this stuff integrated. And it worked out pretty well. I mean, it's really cool, but it's just not secure at all. I mean, it might work for home users, and that'd be, I don't know. Just don't do this. I mean, unless you got some foil gloves or something, because once someone, it's spoofable. Someone scans it and you've lost it, and you gotta what do you pull it out and put a new one in? I mean, you can't really change it. I mean, that's worse than your fingerprint. Mobile devices, some based on Google Auth. I mean, there's a lot of them. Some are proprietary. Some use algorithms. Some use custom algorithms. Some use push notifications. Some use a combination of those things. They're really common. They're easy to use. Everyone's got some kind of mobile device. People are more willing to protect it, and they're going to notice when it's gone. It's not going to be gone for long. The problem is they're vulnerable to remote attacks. So you could have some bad app that someone installs. They're slow to replace. I mean, you can't just go and get a new one. On the plus side, there is a lot of support for Google Auth. I mean, I've probably got 30, 40 on my Google Authenticator, and it's just constantly growing. So I'm not even going. That's you guys get that. So, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so that's what I call them. What can be chopped off. I kind of ran out of graphics, so I started using some stock photos. So I guess the thing is with fingerprints. Here's my fingerprint scanner. It's a little tiny one. The problem with fingerprints, and this is the Authentic. They had a problem where they were storing the password encrypted. See what the way that some of these things work is, and the reason why I said that was bad news when a bad sign when they ask you for your password. They'll encrypt your password, and then have some logic in the program that authenticates you. And if you pass authentication, then they decrypt your password and use that to log into Windows. And so that just means that your password is stored somewhere, and most likely it's got a hard-coded key somewhere, or it's based on your PIN. I mean, it's really cool. It's built into Windows, but the thing is you can't log into a website with your fingerprint. You don't have, there's not really much you can do with that. You just log into Windows, and that's about it. Or maybe your mobile phone as well. Iris. Now, irises are interesting. I like this one the best. That camera is just kind of weird, I think. Yeah, this was my personal favorite because it just worked really well. It was just really seamless. It's almost it worked almost as well as the Bluetooth. Yeah. Okay, so let me. Oh, you can't. It says looking for you, making sure it's you, and it logs me in. So it's kind of cool. But man, those pictures, it's kind of freaky. But if we could get something like that to work. Like I said, we get the OS support, we get the browser support, and then we get the application support. But the thing is, we're not going to log into any websites with this. So there's really not much. I should have got a better picture, I guess. But there's really not much you can do with it other than just. You can play asteroids. It's kind of cool. You can you look at the asteroid and it blows it up. Some games, but it's not much you can do with it other than that. It would be nice if we could get that more commonplace, but they aren't really cheap. It's about $180 for this.
There has been a cock-up, so there are catering people waiting outside to take over the room. So I have to ask Mark to speak
5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give us the conclusion, Mark. You know it sucks.
Oh, you give it away.
The interesting question is essentially, is his family still alive? That's my main concern, to be honest.
Face, voice, fix, don't ask for passwords. If you ever do use any kind of biometric or alternative authentication, and ask for your password. There's several of them that did that. It's just that they're storing it somewhere. And there's this thing. You've got LastPass. You can use YubiKey, but if you lost your YubiKey device, click here to disable YubiKey, and then over here it says use email verification instead. So it's just kind of. Why not just email verification in the first place? You're not any stronger than that weakest link there. So expanding modalities. I'll go back to fix. Fixing it is you start strong, work backwards. You allow a lot of different, allow support for a lot of different types of authentication. A lot of these like LastPass, for example, it lists these certain two-factor authentication things you can use. If they're not, you know, they're not gonna, obviously not going to be available on every device or for every person. I mean, not everyone has fingerprints. I mean, you know, it's just, you got to have flexibility based on where the user is, what kind of device they're using, where they're logging in from, and other factors that, you know, that could make it potentially suspicious. So you kind of take away, you know, is this suspicious? You kind of take the score away, then you add on with the stronger authentication factors determined to get you back up to where you need to be, you know, to a certain score to pass them. And here's some kind of interesting things that you could look at: you know, where you are, when are you there, where you were, which device you're using, who you know, who's with you. But now here's some you probably don't want to use. Something you forgot, something you lost. Anyway, something you ate, how you bleed. So I thought you guys might want to, you know, use that hashtag and kind of carry that on. But rules-based authentication, that's one thing I like to see. I'd like to see some kind of, I mean, with like within Windows Hello, for example, you can log in with a fingerprint or with your face, or you can log in with a PIN code or a password. But it would be nice to say, you know, I want to log in with 3 of these, 3 out of 4, or I want to say, you know, at these times I want to log in with 3 out of 4, or if I want to say if there's been more, you know, certain conditions. I mean, it would be nice to have a rules-based setup that you can decide, that we could decide. Let us have 5 different ways to authenticate, and you have to have 3 of them. Artificial intelligence, there's a lot of potential there for understanding when to require multiple factors or you know, 3 or 4 factors for authentication. Identifying devices. Some of the password managers do that already. Smarter wearables, that would be really cool. Okay, okay, and then there's this. That's it. I guess we don't have questions. We have questions? Have time for questions while they're setting up?
I was told they are really eager to get in here, but again, you know, Mark will be around, so please do ask him questions outside.